Hi there, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Cornwall. How about we get the main show back underway and on the road? Prior to visiting Cornwall, I knew there were two locations that I wanted to visit, bring you along with me, talk to you about the compositions before shooting. And I didn't want them to be the classic tourist traps like Kynet's Cove, Land's End, St Ives, the Bedruthen Steps. Of course, I was always going to get lovely shots there. But it's these little places here, well, maybe little places, you might have heard of them, and I could be talking a load of rubbish. For our first shot here today, we're at Padstow, a lifeboat station. Got it just peeking out amongst the cliffs in the background. There is what I presume a classic shot to this image, and it's taken just at the top of the hill. I wanted to come along here because I loved how this lifeboat station, you've got the launch just disappearing into the sea. I love how it, like I say, just peeks out from behind the cliffs, something a little bit different. But the difficulty is, I've never been here before. And this is one of the biggest challenges when coming to a new location, especially when so far from home. I'm not able to scout out the location beforehand. I've had 7 days here in Cornwall before, of course, I head home. So I get one chance to come out here, find the right spot, find the right place to shoot from, and then I've just got to hope that when I get home, the image is perfect, because of course, if it isn't, it's not like I can come down, but yeah, if I can get my words out, it's not like I can come back down here in a week or two, a month, and try again. So let me walk you through our first composition that I've already got set up here on the tripod. I'm going to get the live view up on our screen, and as you can see, like I say, we've just got the lifeboat station just poking out here in the distance. We've got these rocks here leading us along that top horizontal. And then of course, I'll make sure at the moment how I've got things set up. Let's zoom out ever so slightly. I want a nice amount of beach. We've got a nice bit of low tide here, so I can focus on the beach as well. Come out too far, I'll start getting the edge of the cliff in, something I don't really want to have to put up with. Just having to adjust ever so slightly, because as you might have seen, let me get that live view back up on screen. I've not got the tripod, I've not got the camera secure here. We've got a house just up here. I'm not sure if I really want that in shot, so I'm just having to play. Like I said, I don't want any of this foreground. I don't want any of this foreground here. It looks a bit messy in front of the beach, so I'm just having to play around with the composition just a little bit. I want to make sure that this is perfect, so when I get home to Lightroom, I'm not cursing my sloppiness. Something about there. There we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's bring the ISO down, because I was shooting handheld briefly, so I was shooting ISO 1000. Because I'm on the tripod now, I'm going to drop that down to 1000. I'm going to want some nice smoothness in the sea. So let's get my 6-stop ND filter out and screw that on front of the lens. There we go, let's see what that does. Might not be slow enough at this time of the day, so in which case I'm going to go to f13, just so I get a nice slow shutter speed for what I'm after here today. Just the autofocus method, I like to be on 1 point autofocus. Don't know why, it's just my style. Oh, It's got the ND filter on. Need to have a nice slow shutter speed here because of course I want to have nice smooth water. Might have to play around with that with the shutter speed a little bit because of course we're getting a little bit of swell hitting the rocks down the beach, so I don't want to slow it down too much and deprive myself of that motion. At the moment we're shooting f13 and a 6-second shutter speed, and there's our first shot. So the plan was never to do any talking at this location, but this is what happens when you combine the Bedruthen steps with a gorgeous sunset. Perfect. So last port of call on this 7-day trip of Cornwall, and I've come here to Dravos Head Lighthouse. Absolute stunning location, isn't it? Really puts strong emphasis, really makes you understand when I talk about the wild Cornish coast. Look at this rocky landscape, the foam crashing against the rocks, and of course in the background we've got the lighthouse. Could you think of a better setting to end the video? I know, I can't, and it is just stunning to be here. It really is. But again, one last time, I'm going to get the composition up on the live view. I've got a 6-stop ND filter on the front of the lens. We're getting a nice amount of light now, so if I want to slow the water down at all, I'm going to have to stick an ND filter on, because using the natural shutter speed, I'm not going to get it slow enough to smooth out the water. But of course we don't want to smooth out the water too much, because we still want to get emphasis on this foam crashing, splashing up against the rocks, don't we? So let's adjust the camera. Let's get a nice composition set up here. Something just about like that. And let's get the live view on, and I can talk you through this composition. Of course, we've got the lighthouse just popping up above the rocks in the background. And then we've got this one rock here, down here, which is of course creating a lot of the foam from the swell. Of course, the horizon line, as you'd expect, is on that top vertical, and the lighthouse is on the right horizontal. Nice and simple, as always, what you'd come to expect from my images, really. Let's go back and talk settings. Of course, again, a bit like when I was at Padstow, I can't really talk shutter speed. I'm just going to have to fire away, keep firing until I get the optimal shutter speed. And of course, again, the same with the foam. I don't want to just take one shot and be happy with it. I want to keep firing, because of course the foam will create nice patterns in the water. And it brings me on to the second point I want to stress about coming to a new location. And of course, when you go on holiday and you take a break, you can't play around, you can't take risks. You can't go, oh, I won't go out this day because sunrise might be better on the next day. You've just got to take risks. That you can't wait and see if you go and get the optimal light, because Of course, you might miss it completely, and like I said at Padstow, you'll head home, you'll look at your images on Lightroom, and you'll regret not going out when you had the chance. And that was the case today with me. I thought there'll be fog around this time of day. I wasn't going to come out this morning. And look, we've got some lovely, lovely soft cloud in the distance, and it's actually almost pointing in the distance towards our main subject, which is of course the lighthouse. We could do with a little bit more blue sky, a little bit more proper light, but for this time I'll deal with what I've got. Hopefully next time I come back here I might get a nice sunset, because of course you'd expect the sunset to kind of disappear in the background. This is one location I'll be putting in my pocket to come back to in the future. But talking settings, like I say, ISO 100. We're at f13, again, aperture, shutter speed. I'll be playing around with those. I'll be making sure I get the right image before I walk away from here. As always, all good things must come to an end at some point. I've loved every minute of my time here in Cornwall. I've loved bringing you along with me where possible. And with a heavy heart, I'll say I'll see you back in Kent. See you soon.